It's now my privilege to provide an introduction of the commencement speaker, Michele Lepe. San Antonio, as you know, is called Military Town, USA, and like so many in our city, and like many of you in our audience, I'm sure, Michele Lepe and her family made their way to San Antonio because of her father's career in the Air Force. She moved a lot with her family, and she was born in North Carolina, and with her father's assignments, she visited different places throughout the world, including England and Spain. It was when she was in the 3rd grade that the family relocated to San Antonio, and this became Michele's and her family's hometown. Michele Lepe graduated from Judson High School, home of the Rockets, and then made her way to St. Mary's University, home of the Rattlers. In Michele's words, quote, "During my 4 years at St. Mary's, I gained a world-class education and made lifelong friends." She majored in international business, earning her BBA in 1997. From here, she went to work with Sosa, Bromley, Aguilar and Associates, the largest Hispanic advertising agency in the country, serving as an account executive for numerous national clients. But she also had a passion for performing. So in her spare time, she took acting classes, and they paid off rather quickly. First, she landed roles in a series of plays and then began appearing in commercials. She pursued her dreams of an acting career. 3 short years after graduating from St. Mary's, she moved to Miami, and this is where her career took an unusual turn. She became co-host of one of Miami's top 10 radio morning shows, an experience she believes enriched her creativity. Only 2 years later, she landed a starring role on NBC Telemundo's breakthrough miniseries, Los Teens, which portrayed the struggles of modern-day Latino teenagers in a manner never before seen on Spanish-language television. Michele's personality and presence were popular with audiences of all ages as the co-host of a variety talk show, Off the Roof. Soon after, she co-starred on the dramatic miniseries Al Filo de la Ley on Univision. She then successfully competed in a nationwide search to play Nina, the host of the Good Night Show on Sprout. Since 2006, she has created a bond with millions of preschoolers and their parents. She won a regional Emmy in 2007 for Best Host and recently added executive producer to her list of credentials with the launch of Nina's World, an animated show based on the character she has brought to life for 10 years. This groundbreaking show shines a light on the Hispanic American experience from a 6-year-old's point of view. I could go on and on and on. I think you'd agree that's quite a list of accomplishments. Please join me now in giving a warm St. Mary's welcome to one of our distinguished graduates, Michele Lepe.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hello, graduates. It is such a privilege to be here with you today, and thank you, Provost Tyler, for that lovely introduction. And thank you, President Ming and the Academic Council for honoring me with the invitation to speak to all of you today. And graduates, thank you for all of your hard work, dedication, and Rattler pride. I was actually quite surprised when I was asked to be here today because it doesn't feel like enough time has passed since I was out there, like all of you, anxiously waiting for my big moment to cross the stage and get my eager little hands on one of those diplomas. But then I look out at all of your bright, beautiful, young, beautiful faces, and I realize it wasn't yesterday. It was nearly 20 years ago that I left this campus with an international business degree. And now, as I stand here before you, again in a cap and gown, before all of you and your loved ones, I can clearly remember what graduation day is like. I felt like I had really accomplished something important, like I'd made it. And the memories that I cherish the most from my student years are those hours spent bonding with my classmates, researching over in the library, hanging out in my friends' dorm rooms, and socializing in the quad, because by the way, that's where we socialized. There was no pub back then. I'm gonna have to check that out when we're done here. I'm so thankful that the leaders of this university emphasize the importance of community, family spirit, and faith. And that Marianist philosophy permeates every classroom, every walkway, every nook and cranny of this campus. This environment is the perfect setting for learning, of course, but it took me years to realize how much it influenced the adult I am today. It was here that I gained a sense of confidence, self-reliance, and strengthened my faith in the goodness and kindness of people. And those qualities are the ones that we all need, no matter what degree you walk out of here with today, no matter which career path you choose. Confidence, self-reliance, and faith will see you through anything life can throw at you. And life will throw you plenty of curveballs. Look, when I left here in 1997 with my business degree in hand, I prepared to conquer the business world. And here I am, all these years later, an actor, working in children's television. I'm absolutely not a CEO or business mogul. I'll leave that to Mr. Sanchez. Life has definitely dealt me some curveballs. Being an actor is what I daydreamed about while sitting in my accounting and marketing and economics classes. And I'm positive it's not what Dr. Martinez or Dr. Toyne would have envisioned for my future. But you see, that's life. That's what happens when you leave the safe, nurturing world you've created for yourselves right here. When I left, I was determined to tackle whatever came my way, and that turned out to be an opportunity to work in the exciting world of Hispanic advertising. I was at one of the most successful agencies in the country. So take note, all those long nights spent in the library working on presentations really do pay off. They did for me. And I could see a future for myself, quite a bright future actually. I was beginning to see my life unfold in front of me, not just what was right in front of my eyes, but 5-10 years down the line. I could envision promotions and accolades and salary raises, but there was one thing that I couldn't see: me, happy. At the end of it, something was missing. The thing is that my passions in life stem from a creative energy deep within me. I've always had an outlet to express myself, and I thought a career in advertising would be fulfilling. But in reality, I pushed my dreams to one side. Now, don't get me wrong. This was a potentially wonderful career, but for someone else. It was someone else's dream and someone else's passion. My dream was to perform, to share stories and experiences, but I had lost sight of that. So, at the ripe age of 23 years old, I took a step back and I asked myself some really tough questions about my life in the real world that, by the way, no one else will ask you when you get out there. Was there meaning? Was there purpose? Was there joy? They're pretty deep questions. Thankfully, my theology and philosophy classes here at St. Mary's prepared my mind and heart for this exact moment. As I contemplated these very important questions, I was taken back to my early days right here on campus. It was here that I learned one of the most important lessons ever. Life is richer, more meaningful, and joyful when there's purpose. It's up to you to discover what that purpose is. Personally, I realized that I did not have to continue down the path that I was on. The weight of doing what others expect you to do will end up holding you back. So I did it. I walked away from the sure thing. I left behind a secure, predictable path and went in search of the complete opposite. Now, don't worry, parents. I'm not advocating that your children throw away their diplomas and move out to Hollywood. But graduates, I am here to tell you and reassure you that after your time here at St. Mary's, you have the skills to be successful. And now it's time to listen to your heart, be passionate, and dedicate your precious time to a worthy cause. After all, if we're going to spend roughly 40% of our lifetime working, don't you think that you should really love what you do? I know this isn't a revolutionary concept, do what you love, but actually following through can be quite revolutionary. When you love what you do with your time, whether it be work or not, you will live a richer, fuller life. Of course, I would be remiss if I didn't explain to you that just because you're doing what you love, it doesn't mean that you're immune from setbacks and challenges and making mistakes. All of those things are still going to happen. I remember moving out to Hollywood in search of my big break, and despite my best efforts, all I heard was no, 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 no thank you. And just because I got knocked down, it didn't mean I wasn't going to keep getting back up. My heart and soul was in it, and nothing in the world was going to stop me. Through it all, I remained steadfastly optimistic, and maybe that's why now I enjoy working with preschoolers, because I can appreciate and relate to their optimism and positivity. I find it's absolutely contagious. I'm constantly reminded of Robert Fulghum's poem, "All I Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten." Because when you think about it, it's in kindergarten where we learn kindness and empathy, how to share, how to make friends, and most importantly, we learn that love can conquer fear. I'd like to take a moment now to thank all the parents and loved ones here today, and in particular, my parents, Mike and Carmen, sitting right over there. Without your love and encouragement and emotional and financial support, without your humility and work ethic, I would not be here today. And I know my parents worried when I told them that I was leaving my job to pursue acting. Okay, maybe worried is putting it very lightly. They were very nervous. But thank God they never gave up on me. And that taught me to never give up on myself. So thank you, Mom and Dad. Today, you are all together as one family for the last time. And together, we all begin a new chapter in the story of our lives. Together, we contemplate that blank page, waiting patiently for us to begin writing, to create, to explore where this new adventure will take us. It's exciting, it's daunting, and as this next passage materializes right in front of us, we must remember those lessons from kindergarten. Kindness really does count. I'm sure with all the elation and joy you're feeling right now, somewhere deep down inside you is a little voice tugging at you, reminding you that going out into the big unknown world is a scary thing. Don't ignore that fear. Feel that emotion and honor it. That uncertainty of not knowing exactly what's next will be the spark that ignites a fire in you. The person you're becoming is not guided by by what you learned in books, but by something deep down inside of you. And I'm sure your time on this campus has helped you nurture that essence. It's your time now to put your skills to work and always let that essence shine. You will do well, I'm sure of it. I want to encourage you to work hard and love what you do. I want you to know that when you put your heart into anything you do, you will give everything you do meaning. This is how you will live a life with purpose, a life worth living, and a life worth sharing. So good luck. God bless you all. Goodbye. Thanks.
Confidence, self-reliance, and faith. Life is richer, more joyful when it's lived on purpose. Thank you for your words, Michele. Thank you for embodying the merriness characteristics of education, seeking excellence in all that you do, service to society, and working for the common good. Thank you for sharing that with us today.